Welcome back. This is an interesting one. Let's keep it. Our opponents put us on the play, which is awkward to say the least. But, I mean, we've got to hit with this fertile thicket, right? Yes, please. I will put a mountain on top. Thank you. Thank you very much. We'll see how it goes. Definitely playing the snapping gnarler first. Alright, my opponent playing a cliffside lookout deck put us on the play. Does that mean they're very confident in an aggressive start? Does it mean that they want the extra card? The cliffside lookout may be an incidental include because it's had it. Because it's an ally? I really don't know. I like how our hand is all 4 drops after this. We just need to draw lands for the rest of the game, and then I think we're fine, actually, though. F6, please. If my opponent plays a 2-3 here, I was about to say, we're screwed. Fortunately for us, we're just the luckiest people in the world, that's fine. Oh, I could have played Oakum Firebird. That's fine. I'll play a Grove Rumbler. Plays around complete disregard. Lithomancer's Focus? Oh, with the sick reads. Yeah, that's fine. I don't really care about keeping the Snapping Gnarlet alive enough to trade with the Cliffside Lookout. Like, I'm okay if my opponent 2-for-1s themselves. Oh, Mardu. The old Mardu Allies deck. I know I could have infused with the elements, but I think that putting this guy on board is better than keeping this guy around as a 4-4. Oh, is my opponent going to go for the value with the Mortuary Mire? Let's find out. Yes. Yes, they are. Not playing anything, though. Alright, well, Grove Rumbler is gonna tick up. And it did not get complete disregarded in response to the ability. So that's probably a good thing. Just with the nuts. Thank you, Fertile Thicket. What is this? Gideon's Approach, sure. The thing about that is, if we draw another land, you're just getting hit for the exact same amount of damage next turn. I guess it could change if my opponent had, say, a Colostria Night Watch. We know for sure that one of the cards in their hand is a 1/1-for-1. So, that's good. Okay, Bloodbond Vampire. Alright. And a 1/1-for-1. Hey, a land. Just draw 6 lands in a row. My opponent blocks here. They go to 7. Or they take 7, go to 1. And are dead next turn just to Akum Firebird. If my opponent blocks with a Bond Vampire. Yeah, I don't think I attack with the Oran Reef Invoker here. Because they can just block it with the Bond Vampire and still go to 1. Yep. Thought so. I wonder a couple of things. First, what is my opponent playing the mountain for? Second, whether my opponent has the Grip of Desolation or not that we saw go around in pack 2. And by that I mean the one that we opened. Infuse with the Elements is also a nice way to ensure that this board state wins, because whatever my opponent does not block, or even what my opponent might have blocked, gets trample and big. So, allies deck. What do I want against allies? Not a lot. I could see Goblin War Paint actually being useful, because it makes my guys really big, but they're usually not out of Gideon's approach range. So I think I just run it and see what happens. My opponent from last round didn't feel like sticking around. This hand is marginally less good than our other hand, but we're still going to keep it. We can even lead on Fertile Thicket again. And finding a mountain would have been great. Do I want a plains? Sure, I'll take a plains. I think that's better than having a random card. Stonehaven Medic. Stonehaven Medic can never block Snapping Gnarlid, so that's fine. Stonehaven Medic is pretty good with like Blood Bond Vampire, which means that it's incredibly necessary that we find double red pretty soon. Unless my opponent just completely disregards this. Oh, Core Castigator, that's fine. Alright, drawing Infuse with the Elements makes me kind of not want to attack with Snapping Gnarlid. But having this Hedron Archive in my hand makes me want to, because if my opponent blocks, then I can just play Hedron Archive next turn, and that's fine. Yeah. Also, they couldn't have blown us out with Lithomancer's Focus there. Nice thing to keep in mind. Interesting. I wonder if my opponent has the Pathway Arrows too. I'll take it. Mountain. Shadow Glider is good. And definitely worth playing over the Hedron Archive. No blocks. I mean, I blocked this Stonehaven Medic for sure, but... Sure. Had it. Just had it. We are going to bluff the Lithomancer's focus now. Grove Rumblers is a little bit awkward against Nirkana Assassin. However, if I draw exactly basic mountain, then I could play my mountain, attack with Grove Rumbler and Shadow Glider, and then when my opponent blocks and then gains life with their Nirkana Assassin, we get him by Stone Furying the Nirkana Assassin. Or I could just draw Looming Spires and give my Grove Rumbler first strike, which is also something I could do. And I'm probably going to end up using Infuse with the Elements as a way to get around Gideon's Reproach. Probably on my Shadow Glider. That was a good draw. Although, when your whole deck is full of winners, you can't lose. Copyright Morgan Wentworth 2015. And we'll just play a Hedron Archive because our opponent did not, in fact, block. Or Gideon's Reproach. Yeah, dude has lifelink, or not lifelink, Death Touch. If it had lifelink and Death Touch, now that would be something. We're getting a touch lucky, like a tiny, eensy bit. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. We do have exactly enough mana to both Stone Fury and cast Infuse with the Elements this turn. I think we just attack with Shadow Glider though. Because this way, my opponent can't both cast Gideon's Reproach and kill the or block the Grove Rumbler. So that's good. Then I think we just draw cards with Hedron Archive. And probably also kill something at the end of turn. That way we have land, that way we are more likely to hit a land drop. Excuse me. I can't imagine that, based on what we saw of our opponent's deck last game, having the mountain available is very helpful. We're going to sacrifice this, draw 2. Stone Fury or Nirkana Assassin. Not even Lithomancer's Focus will save you now. Double Lithomancer's Focus would. Yes, double Lithomancer's Focus would. Trigger. And we're not worried about, we're not all that worried about stupid Gideon's Reproach right now because my opponent hasn't cast it, but they have been drawing non-lands, and they didn't draw it this turn because they played a mountain. I mean, I'm not going to go ahead and tap out before a combat, but... yeah, okay. Yup. So I'm just going to go ahead and cast this 10-8. What does my opponent have? Maybe they're all green cards. Anyway, I have my opponent dead just with the natural connection and then land drop. I probably should have played the mountain. It's just technically correct. Because then I could have used natural connections to get a plains and then had the plains in hand if I drew a Myria Shepherd, and then I would have been able to get back Hedron Archive. And then we would have had some real fun. Alright. GG's. Sorry about your land situation, opponent. That's too bad. Going on to round 3 with a 2-0 record once more. See you there.